Well, thank you so much for being here with us today and then for coming on the podcast afterward. We just got done with your panel. I was wondering what your main takeaways were from the other panelists today.
First of all, I want to go see a sail GP race. I was
Same.
so inspired, right?
Yes.
That was amazing. I think just hearing about the way that the men and women work together in that sport, and by the way, some of the positions on the boat and what those are called.
I know.
I was ready to go out and set sail, and I don't know what I'm doing. So I think that was definitely inspiring, and I love learning about new sports. The other thing too that I thought was really fascinating is just the way that each of us uniquely brings value to the brands that we work with, the athletes that we have, what incredible ambassadors they are, the way that our fans are engaged, the way that they support the brands who support our leagues and our athletes. And so I think that was truly a powerful message coming out of it.
Awesome. And I know at one point in the panel, one of the most interesting things that hit me was when you're talking about the rise in competition in women's sports and how women are actually really excited that there's like these rivalries happening because it means like it sort of cements it as a real sport as it should be. Can you speak more on that and like the growth that you've seen in terms of competition for women's sports?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think for anyone who grew up playing women's sports, it was you always wanted to see yourself as an equally tough competitor, right? You wanted your craft to be taken seriously. And I think women's sports for so long has lacked similar earned media coverage to men's sports. And so a lot of the stories that have risen to the top historically have been around the human interest side and less about the competition on the field. So now that we're reaching a place where women's sports are more popular, more viewed, I think there is this realization by the audience of, wow, I'm watching a women's hockey game and it's fast and it's skilled and it's highly physical and this is exciting. And that's the conversation. And it's amazing to see that finally happening in the sport.
For our audience at home, what is one thing, if you could sort of summarize the consensus of what you and the fellow panelists came up with today, what would the main message of your guys' conversation be?
Niche no more. I mean, women's sports, right? It's a business. There is a real commercial benefit to being a part of women's sports. And I think that there's truly incredible cases out there for that. And hopefully the panel today was just another step in making sure that message is heard.
Well, I think it was. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast afterward and coming to our sports conference. I know we all learned a lot from you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.